Hello there and welcome back to a new video. Today I'm going to be predicting the third tier of English football. You know it well, EFL League One. If you like the video, that would be great. I really appreciate all the support as well as subscribing. That's also really helpful for the channel. Without further ado, let's get into it. In 24th place with Fleetwood Town. Fleetwood have been screaming relegation since last year because of the awful form the season. They had to rely on Gillingham losing to stay up, and it was just bad season. With all the good teams coming into League One, the competition has really got good, and Fleetwood are just one of those teams hanging around the bottom of the pack. And I think that this year they're gonna have to go down because of just that increased competition. Now in 23rd place, I'm going to go with Morecambe. Morecambe had a decent season last year. They stayed up. It was good. But again, with the increased competition in League One, I just think that this team is going to go down back to League Two. They were up for a year, but I think they're going to go back down though. So it's just going to be really hard for them to stay up with all these great teams in the league. The likes of Portsmouth improving, you have Bolton improving, and all the four teams that came up, Exeter, Forest Green, Port Vale, and who's the other one? Bristol Rovers have just shown so much promise that it's going to be really hard for the likes of Morecambe and Fleetwood to stay up in this division any longer. So I think I'm going to go with them in 23rd place. 22nd, Burton Albion. I think Burton are going to go down this year. They've got away with it a couple years past, but the team is just awful. They haven't been playing well. You can tell that this team just screams relegation to League Two. It's simply not good enough, and I think this team is going down. I really think that they're one of the prime candidates to go down, and the bookies are rating them to do so. But I think that you'd have to be in big consideration for this team to not survive. It just hasn't looked good recently for Burton. 21st, I'm going to go with Cambridge United. I just think that second season syndrome is going to come upon this team with the squad they have. Not really strong enough to survive in a very competitive League One. And Cambridge just had shaky moments last year, and I think that they're going to sadly go down to League Two. I would love for them to stay up, but I just think that the other teams are too good to go down, and Cambridge has to be one of them going down. Possibly Cheltenham instead, but I think Cheltenham is a stronger team with Alfie May, etc. I think that Cheltenham will be the other team because they're a similar team to Cambridge, but I think Cambridge is going to be the one going down. Sorry, Cambridge fans, I just don't think it's your year. 20th, Lincoln City. I just think Lincoln City has a good squad, not a great one, and this team will suffice in League One for now. I'm hoping that they can go higher than this, but again, and I keep saying it, and I will keep saying it, the increased competition in this league makes it so hard for some teams. But Lincoln in a couple of years could possibly get promoted. They could even challenge for playoffs this year. They have that playoff season 2 seasons ago. They beat Sunderland in the playoff semis, lost in the playoff final to Blackpool in that thriller of a game. But Lincoln has potential this year. And this might be a hot take putting them this low, but we'll see. 19th, Port Vale. Port Vale is one of the two teams in the Football League with a female owner, and I just think that this team with the female owner who's invested in the motivation to bring women into soccer is just going to be really crucial for this team. The motivation they're getting from the outside and a good squad who got promoted via the playoffs, absolutely wrecked Manfield, 10th shootout against Swindon Town. It was a great playoffs. Port Vale's been waiting to come up for a couple of years now, and they finally got the job done. Impressed by them, and I think their squad will definitely do in League One this year. 18th, I'm going to go with Shrewsbury Town, the same position as they did last year. Shrewsbury are just kind of always here every year, so Shrewsbury Town, 18th. 17th place, I'm going to go with Cheltenham. Again, the team that could be interchangeable with Cambridge, but with Alfie May, I don't think you can really go down. That guy is such a beast for League One, and I think he will lead them with the rest of the squad with a good manager to stay up in this league for another season. So Cheltenham at 17th. 16th, Exeter City. I thought I would put Exeter a little higher after their really promising end of the season, but a loss to Torquay United in the 5th tier really made me think maybe they're not going to have the best season, but I still think that they'll definitely survive. Maybe not definitely, but I think that they'll survive. I know I'm not saying anything controversial. 15th place, Bristol Rovers. Bristol showed so much promise the second half of last year, and it's just showed that they're going to be a new team, even with the loss of Elliot Anderson under their manager. It's just going to be good, better times in League One this time around for Bristol Rovers. 14th, I'm going to go with Charlton Athletic. They have a really small squad, like in terms of how many players they have, and it's just not great. The team has just been underperforming for a couple years now, and it's not looking good. So I think a mid-table finish should satisfy Charlton because they could do worse. This is not like the best team, but they're also not the worst one. So I think Charlton will finish in 14th place and be happy with it. 13th place, I'm going to go with Plymouth Argyle. Pie Faces boys, and the squad overperformed last year. They did really good. I was impressed. I didn't think they'd do that good, but they did. Missed out on the final day for the playoffs in 7th place. Lost their last 4, bad form. But I think this team could hold together, not have a bad season, not having one like they had last year, which was really good. And I think they'll be satisfied with a 13th place finish. 12th. Now we've got a team that's fell a bit. Peterborough. Peterborough had a really bad season in the championship last year. It's because their squad is built around a lot of League One players, which isn't going to really help you play well in the championship. And they could literally get automatics. They could win this league. But for some reason, I'm pessimistic about how their morale and their form is going to carry over into League One. So I think that Peterborough are going to finish in a lowly 12th place. 11th, Barnsley. Barnsley sucked last year at the championship. Like, they were bad. They were so bad. Worst team in the league by far. And people would say they were going to get promoted the year before. 0 points. Yeah, not really any doubt about that one. They were so bad last year that I don't think that they'll get playoffs. Even though this team does do good in League One, I think they're going to get 11th place. Barnsley is going to do worse in League One than Crewe will do in League Two, without a doubt in my mind. 10th, Wickham. I think that Wickham will have a decent season, but I do think with the loss of Akinfenwa, they will miss out on the playoffs. And I know Ainsworth is a good manager, but I just don't think that this squad will be able to do it against its stacked top 6. They made it to the playoff finals last year, so I could be wrong. I could be very, very wrong. But as of right now, they don't convince me enough. 9th, Oxford United. Oxford are always there at about 6th to 10th every year. So how about 9th this year? That's really just it. 8th, Accrington Stanley. Accrington Stanley have just a squad which is just going to go out there and get good results to get mid-table to upper mid-table every year like they always do. It's just what Accrington Stanley does, and I think this year will be a little more successful than most, and they'll get 8th place. 7th, Forest Green Rovers. Forest Green and have been in League Two for a while, and they've really built it up to a point that when they get out of that league, they're going to excel and be competitive in League One. And I think that they're going to do wonders and just miss out on playoffs. It's going to be a harsh season, but Forest Green were really good last year in League Two, so I think they'll do well in League One as well. Even though it is a big transition, League Two to League One. National League to League Two is the easiest, because if you get promoted for the National League, because it's so hard to get out of the league, you'll be so good and be competitive in League Two, and there's a good chance that you could get playoffs right off the bat. But this transition's a little harder, but I still think that Forest Green has the squad to do it. Sixth, I'm going to go with Derby County. This team has kind of been awful in the championship for years, and who says that they're not going to get automatics when they fall back into League One? I don't think so. With the loss of Wayne Rooney, it's going to be hard. Derby, I know you want me to give you automatics, but I don't think so. I'm sorry. Place, I'm going to go with Portsmouth. I really like their project and what they're doing and how they improved last year. It gives me a good thought that Portsmouth are going to do good next year and get 5th place in League One. They can do it. They were in the top flight not too long ago. So 5th place in League One, it's definitely doable. I don't see why it won't happen. 4th place, Bolton. I think Bolton will get 4th place because of this team has just been stacked with all the signings they've made, and the morale is really upwards. And I think this just screams playoffs, easy playoffs for Bolton. So I think I'm going to have to say 4th place. Shout out to Thogdad and Thogden. 3rd place, the same place as last year, sadly, MK Dons. The most frustrating spot in the whole league, possibly, because you've got playoffs, but you're so close to automatics and you miss out. Dons has a strong team where they can definitely do this, and I think they will. It's not going to be the easiest, but it also won't be the hardest with the squad they have. So I think Dons will wind up in 3rd place. 2nd place, Ipswich Town. Ipswich Town have just been really looks like they're going to be on the up, and I think this is their year. This is the big year that Ipswich come, they get promoted. People are hyping them up, but I don't think that's false hype. I think Ipswich are going to go up, get automatics this year, and it's going to be a big year. 1st place, topping the league. I think I'm going to go with Sheffield Wednesday here. I know I'm going to go with Sheffield Wednesday. I'm backing the Owls. I'm not being biased because this is my favorite squad in English football, because this is the team I support. I just think that this team has what it takes. With Barry Bannon, you have Lee Gregory, Mendez-Laing, Peacock Farrell. This team could do it. Sadio Berahino. This team is going to go up. Darren Moore is not that bad of a manager, and this team is too big for the 3rd tier, and they are going up. 1st place, Sheffield Wednesday. Well, there you go. That's the end of my predictions. Is this going to be the League One table at the end of the year? Probably not, but I try my best, and hopefully these predictions come through. If you enjoyed the video, please make sure to like and subscribe to the channel. I really appreciate all the support, and until next time, I'll see ya.